This is Alida Hernandez, Nuestro Magazine, and right now you're seeing Alez Ruiz. We're here in Aventura, Florida. Hi, Alex. How you doing?
I'm good. Enjoying this humidity.
We can't complain. It's not snowing.
It's not snowing. But it is. I was here a few months ago when we were shooting, and that's in the summer. It's insane. So right now it's actually kind of nice. Yeah, the sun. It's really nice.
So, Alex, let's tell a little about to your fans at Nuestro Magazine what's going on with you. A little bit about your background, where you're from, and how do you get to this point in your life?
Well, it's been long. I grew up in Mexico City, until I was around 9 years old, and then I moved to Detroit, Michigan. I went to school there all the way to college, and from there moved to LA. Been there about 12 years. The first, half the time that I was there, I think was the toughest. If it wasn't for my family, there's no way I would have survived there. And then I just started, gaining more traction, knowing more people, auditions, and I started with commercials a lot. I made a name for myself with commercials, and then plays, and then from there, I started doing voices. For commercials and shows and stuff like that, and then a few films here and there. I came here, I did a telenovela, Dama y Obrero, se llamó, para Telemundo, and then again I'm here doing Quién es Quién. We just wrapped up, back to LA, where I have a play going on called Máquina de Escribir. That's going to open in April. And from there, just jobs here and there, doing everything, doing it all, Spanish, English, everything. So it's been a lot. I mean, it's been like a minute of 12 years of this, but trust me, there's a lot more. I'm more stuff.
So what you're doing is you're translating como Quién es Quién, la novela, that's in Spanish to English.
Well, right now, yeah. Well, I actually was in the telenovela.
Oh, okay.
The character was a Terminator. But they asked me to also dub it in English, because I speak perfect English, perfect Spanish, so what better person to do, the English voice of the Terminator than me, since I already know the character, so that's what you're doing. And of course, so I'll be coming back here every few weeks to do it. Yeah, so it's really cool. The advantages of speaking English and Spanish.
So how do you feel that you've been brought up with Mexican culture in the blood, in your soul, basically, because that's where you were born.
Yeah.
But then you grew up in America, in Detroit, so you had to come here and simulate and blend in, pretty much.
I think I'm a rare breed in the sense that I have advantages, speaking, again, perfect English and Spanish, and that's the way I was brought up. Mm-hmm. I think it's my parents that are to thank for that. Because a lot of people come to the U.S. even older than at the age that I came, at 8, 9 years old, and they totally forget it, or they have an accent, a very thick accent. I don't have an accent in English or in Spanish, and that helped also living in LA for 12 years, but being Mexican fully, not grown or being born in the U.S., but fully in a place like Michigan was difficult, very difficult, especially back in the 80s. Early 90s, now it's a little bit more diverse, even though with this whole Trump thing going on, it's kind of, turning upside down, but before it was a little bit tough, but thankfully, and luckily, I was never really made fun of or bullied or anything. I made really good friends, I assimilated really well, I took up the language really fast, and then I went to LA to do the acting, and I thought I had this amazing advantage being Latin, Mexican, not the stereotypical look that they expect. And speaking English, I was going to get everything. That's what I thought. But after, all these years, I still go up for parts that are Latin-based. The stereotypical Latin guy, which is fine. I'm okay with. I can do it. That's fine. But at the same time, there's not really a lot of diversity with that. I'd say over 80%, I keep saying this, over 80%, 90% of the stuff that I've gotten acting-wise have been Latin, Spanish speaking. And if it's English, I have to do an accent. And I don't know why. It's one of those things that I always thought that I had this advantage because I spoke English. I can be, the college guy.
So, do you have any comments or feelings about the Oscars? I know they did a big boycott because they said there weren't too many black African Americans that were voted in, and that it was more white. But it also there wasn't very too many Latins as well.
Yeah, well, I think the whole, the whole African American, Oscar's so white kind of thing. It really focused on the African American thing, and they should, because they really some actors really deserve to be nominated, or they should have been at least recognized more than they were. So I'm totally for that, but they took a lot of that, like they're focusing on that. They're focusing on, Leonardo DiCaprio winning the award. Again, great, but where's the focus on, Iñárritu winning 2 Oscars back to back? That should be huge. That's Oscar history. They should focus on that. We're here. We're making more of a voice every year. We do something. We do something, and I don't think it's voiced enough. We are kind of quiet, as a community in that sense, and I think, and I was mentioning before, was that I went to the NHMC Awards, which is the National Hispanic Media Coalition, a few weeks back. Luis Guzman won an award there, Lifetime Achievement Award, I think, or something. I don't know, but he won an award. And he said that he doesn't want to come back in 20 years in a wheelchair talking about diversity anymore. Because we're, as a Latin community, we're still segregated in our own, cultures. Mm-hmm. Puerto Ricans with Puerto Ricans, Mexicans with Mexicans, Argentinians with Argentinians. We're still segregated. And there's a lot, we butt heads a lot, and you see it a lot when I work and everything. You work with all kinds of people, and there's still something, that doesn't click, and that's what we have to stop. And we have to, voice it together, because we can. There's so much talent. There is so much talent. When you go to Mexico, I've only been to Mexico and Argentina, and there's so much talent there, and people that haven't watched this, there's a lot of stuff on Netflix. Netflix is such a good thing. Especially for Latin, well, for everybody, but for Latin culture as well, that you can see their work. And you got to keep doing it. The thing is that you have to kind of do it alone. If you want to do something, you have to do it yourself. You have to pull this through, because they're not going to help you. Hollywood's not going to help you. So you have to do it alone. It's kind of tough. It's tough being of Latin descent and working in Hollywood. And I know that firsthand, because I've lived there for 12 years. I've auditioned, and I've had some good opportunities. I'm very thankful for it, very thankful, and it's my career, it's what I do. But it's still tough. And I thought, going back to the first thing that I said, is I thought that I had this advantage going in there, speaking English, speaking Spanish, not looking stereotypical from what they want, back then. And here I am, still doing telenovelas. Again, awesome work, I love it. But I'm still trying to figure out ways to transition, to figure out how the hell am I going to get in to Hollywood, not viewed as just the Mexican guy. It's tough. It's really tough, even for someone, like me, who has these advantages.
I think my feeling is about that is that the Latinos themselves need to get organized. And if we get organized, then we have to build an empire, and that we have a movie studio, and we are part of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Unless we have a piece of it, the diversity is still difficult, and it's 2016.
Right.
I mean, I remember back in the 80s. I was very young, and I started modeling, and they would not accept us back then because Puerto Rican?
Right.
What? Where do we put you? Are you white? Are you black? You're not. They had no category for anything in between.
Right.
So what were you supposed to do?
Yeah, but you also have to be careful. If you say, like, we all have to band together and make, bigger things and stuff, but at the same time, be welcoming of other cultures as well. If not, we're doing the same thing they are.
No, exactly. I'm not saying it's all Latin.
Right.
I'm just saying that if at least there are already big producers and actors out there in the world, and that are Latino, that they can build something that can be diverse, that can be multicultural, that it's for everybody. It's not a black and white world, okay? Because it's not. It's a rainbow world. So it's every color we got.
Yeah, help each other. Help each other. I have some of the best friends ever, that are involved in acting, that have helped me so much. But sometimes when you try to you know, there's some Mexican people, some Latin people that have made it. They're good, everything, but they don't want to help. You know, it's, I mean, I don't want to name names or anything, but they don't want to help. And it's not like I'm asking, or not me personally, but people are asking for help. It's not that. It's just you. I mean, you have a voice. You know, you're high up. Do something to help out, not just the people that surround you. You know, just it's like, okay, I have a call. I can do something here. Let's try and do something with it and expand for more people to come in. Again, it's not an obligation or something, you know, but it just shows you that it's like, oh man, I would like to think that if I get somewhere really high up, you know, and that kind of status, that I'd be like, let's go, everybody. You know, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll figure something out. Or if I help, you know, 5 people, those 5 people will help 5 more people.
Exactly.
And that's, you know, that's what you should do. That's, I see that. I mean, the way I think it, I see that as a very obvious thing to do. You know, and it'd be nice if everybody would kind of think like that. You know?
Well, that's good. Well, everybody's going to have to keep watching out for Alez Ruiz here and see his impact around the United States. And we're going to hear your voice in South Park.
South Park season 19, Latin. There's a bunch of voices. See if you recognize them. Couples, Netflix. That's on Netflix. Whisper is coming out. I think it's in the UK right now. And a bunch of other stuff.
And then you got something in the gaming world too.
Yeah, I have a game. I can't talk about it. It's for CK Games. It comes out. I'm not really sure if I can say it now either.
Well, that's okay, but you'll give us the inside scoop, and we'll get it out to all the fans.
4, Xbox. There's Play. I already mentioned that. Quien es Quien is airing on Telemundo right now. 8 o'clock. Un saludito a Nuestro Magazine. Muchísimas gracias por la oportunidad. Y sigan viendo, sigan siguiendo.